Las Vegas Aces coach Becky Hammon clowning the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark. Chelsea Gray clowning Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. This is crazy. They making new nicknames for each other, all types of stuff.
When the defending champions start creating post-game nicknames to mock a star rookie, you know the WNBA tension is getting serious. Welcome back to Basley, and trust me, it only gets crazier from here. What you just watched happened right after a brutal overtime battle between the Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever. On paper, it was just another regular season game, but on the court, it felt like a full-blown psychological war. The Aces got the win, but instead of simply celebrating, the conversation quickly turned into something much bigger because fans believed the post-game comments crossed the line into open disrespect toward Indiana stars.
Chelsea Trey or Chelsea Slade.
Chelsea Slade.
They calling her Chelsea Gray, Chelsea Trey, and Chelsea Slade. They clowning right now.
Oh, point God it is.
I don't know. You got to come up with that. Let me know. I like Chelsea Slade, though.
The jokes in the locker room were only the beginning. Behind the laughter, there was a much bigger battle happening on the court. The Aces used a defensive strategy that seemed designed to frustrate Indiana and shut down their biggest strengths. The Fever entered the game believing their powerful offense could handle championship-level pressure, but the Aces quickly exposed major weaknesses in Indiana's system. Every mistake became more obvious as the game went on. And that is why this loss hurts more than a normal defeat. Indiana didn't just lose the game, they watched a championship team show exactly how to slow them down when the pressure was at its highest.
I'm super proud of our defense. I haven't been able to say that a lot. But super proud of our defense on a night that we really struggled to shoot. I mean, there was a stretch there we were just missing everything. And that's why your defense is so important, because it's going to give you a chance to win the game at the end, and it really did. In an overtime game to, only give up 84 to that offense is just a really great job.
Listen to how Becky Hammon is describing that win. She isn't just praising her defense, she's pointing out that Indiana couldn't take advantage even when Las Vegas was having a terrible shooting night.
I can't take no more of the gloating from Chelsea Gray and Becky Hammon. This was a nasty loss for the Indiana Fever. They got to bounce back versus Chicago. What says you? Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let's keep the vision. Make sure you like.
Heavy pressure on the perimeter. They took away the fast break chances Indiana loves and forced the Fever into slow half-court possessions. Again and again, Indiana struggled to find answers, and the Aces showed they could win even without playing their best offensive game.
This is why she's the best defensive player in the world.
Oh, now she bragging and boasting, man.
It's because she can guard 1 through 5. And Caitlin was going hard. I mean, Caitlin was giving her every juke, jive, shift, and A's ability to just stay in front and then obviously get a hand on it with a huge steal down the stretch.
The difference in coaching was impossible to ignore. On one side, you had Becky Hammon making smart adjustments and trusting her defense to make big plays without constantly sending extra help. On the other side, Indiana seemed to run out of answers whenever Las Vegas changed its strategy. That raises a serious question about Indiana's preparation and coaching when the pressure gets high. In overtime, the Aces ran smart plays to create open shots and defensive mismatches. Indiana, meanwhile, often looked stuck, relying on individual players to make something happen instead of finding a clear team solution. And that may be the biggest difference between these two teams right now. The gap between the two benches is starting to look impossible to ignore.
Definitely got a better coach than us. They definitely got a better coach than us. Becky Hammon was brutally honest. She had all confidence in the world that A'ja Wilson was going to stop Caitlin Clark one-on-one. And she did. I don't even know what to say, man. Caitlin, we're going to have to get that one back.
Hammon gave credit to Indiana's big three, Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston, calling them a nightmare for any defense. But there's something brutal about praising a team's talent while showing exactly how to shut them down on the court. Las Vegas saw that Indiana has dangerous individual scorers, but also has weaknesses in depth and defensive versatility. Jackie Young exposed that difference by dominating on both ends of the floor. She scored, defended tough matchups, attacked the basket, and helped control the pace whenever the Aces needed to settle the game. That's the key difference right now. Las Vegas has a championship-level core that knows how to win tough games, while Indiana is still trying to figure out how to close against elite teams when the pressure is at its highest.
That's what we expect from Jack is, going out there, being productive, being super efficient, and then guarding the other team's, best offensive players. Now, they're That team right there is a three-headed monster. I mean, Caitlin, Kelsey, and Aaliyah are an absolute nightmare for any defense. They're just super skilled. They're all three-level scorers. They're willing passers. So it's got to be a team effort. But that's what we expect from Jack, is to go out there and be a dominant force.
A single player going on a personal 17-0 run against a professional team is almost unbelievable. But Jackie Young did exactly that, and it completely changed the game. That run didn't just change the scoreboard, it destroyed Indiana's momentum and exposed serious problems on defense. When one perimeter player scores 17 straight points, something has gone badly wrong. Indiana struggled with communication, defensive switches were late, help defense wasn't there, and nobody seemed able to stop the run. Instead of slowing the game down and fighting back, the Fever watched their lead disappear. It was a brutal example of how quickly Indiana can lose control when the pressure rises.
Jackie Young had a hell of a game. She had a hell of a game on both ends. If it wasn't for Jackie Young, the Las Vegas Aces get blown out. She went on a 17-0 run by herself. By herself.
Even on a night when Aya Wilson was missing shots she normally makes easily, the Aces still found ways to create offense. They used clear-outs, pick-and-rolls, and smart passes inside to keep attacking. That's what makes a championship team so dangerous. They don't panic when the shots aren't falling because they trust their system and their defense keeps them in the game. Indiana, however, had to work extremely hard just to stay competitive. By overtime, that effort appeared to catch up with them. The Fever looked tired, and that led to rushed jump shots, risky passes, turnovers, and defensive mistakes. Las Vegas saw those weaknesses and attacked them again and again when the game mattered most.
A'ja Wilson, I don't care if she's missed all game. She's going to make free throws. She's going to make big plays down the stretch, winning plays, defensive plays, offensive plays. I actually thought she got into some nice spots late game. We were just running some pick and roll with some cleared side action, and she was able to get to her midi. We know she'll have nights where she doesn't miss those.
The constant off-ball contact and physical play clearly affected Indiana's rhythm. Las Vegas played a very physical style, making every possession difficult and forcing the referees to make tough calls. Clark and Indiana's other perimeter players were often bumped and pushed away from their spots before they could even start their plays. That may be becoming a major strategy against the Fever. If teams can disrupt Indiana's shooters early in the possession, it can waste several seconds of the shot clock while the offense tries to reset. Over a full game, that physical pressure can take a serious toll. By the fourth quarter, tired legs can turn open three-point attempts into short shots, and that's exactly where Indiana needs to find answers.
There's just a lot of physicality. There's a lot of bumping. I think she's walking that line of, is it too much? Is it marginal? So kudos to her in some areas. But on some of these, give the wear and tear of that bumping probably over the course of the game can be disruptive.
Full court pressure and aggressive defense against Indiana's guards force them to start their offense far away from the basket. That takes away the quick transition threes that often fuel their biggest scoring runs and pushes them into long half-court possessions against a set defense. When you look at the bigger picture, Indiana has a serious challenge to solve. They have generational talent in Caitlin Clark, strong inside play from Aaliyah Boston, and elite scoring from Kelsey Mitchell. But until the Fever add defensive players who can handle this kind of physical pressure and develop a coaching system that can adjust against elite teams like Becky Hammond's Aces, these matchups could keep ending in painful and frustrating losses.
Pick them up and give them a little bit of pressure as soon as possible, because they do like to play fast and downhill. They get into the paint really well. Like I said, they have finishers. They have people that dump it off. They have people that can shoot threes, spray out threes. Just a lot of pressure. So as soon as their offensive starts to kick in to that gear, we need to have bodies in front of bodies and be as disruptive as we can.
The locker room jokes and post-game nicknames are only signs of a much bigger problem. Until Indiana proves it can beat elite teams when the pressure is highest, opponents will keep pushing them physically on the court and talking trash afterward. So what is really holding the Fever back? Is the coaching staff the biggest problem, or does Indiana simply need more physical depth to survive these tough championship-level battles? Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe to Basley for more WNBA breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one.